Hey, we've made it past Thanksgiving. Welcome, everyone. I'm glad you guys are all here tonight. I wanted to share a quick message, and then we'll hear Ricci's testimonial and kind of a little bit of her story. Um, Something I wanted to share this week is that obviously all of our families have been focusing a lot on gratitude because of Thanksgiving. So one, as you know, my man is home, and I am very, very grateful for that. But it is also a lot of transition. I got like a person in my space again. And so that was the unexpected part that I know and I forget every time, is the readjustment and how that can be painful and joyous at the same time. It's kind of like ripping a Band-Aid off, right? So lots of readjustments there, but overall good news. He's safe and he's home, and I can currently take care of the kids. He's making dinner. This is good. Okay. So Sean and I had a quick little chat tonight before I had to run, but we kind of talked about finding like our current purpose in what we're doing, and then also just trying to like be grateful in where we're at and find like a good place of where we're at in a close proximity, and not always like thinking about so far in the future, but kind of, for me, it's a lot about like not forgetting where you're at and being grateful for where you're at too, like equally, and then having like short-term goals of where we want our future to be and what we want to do coming up with our health, with our finances, with our lives, with our experiences, all of that. And so I found a little talk that I wanted to share a section with, and disappeared. Hold on. Where did it go? So it says here, our realization of what is most important in life goes hand in hand with gratitude for our blessings. Said one well-known author, both abundance and lack of abundance exists simultaneously in our lives as parallel realities. It is always our conscious choice which secret garden we will tend. When we choose not to focus on what is missing from our lives, but we are grateful for the abundance that is present, love, health, family, friends, work, the joys of nature, and personal pursuits that bring us happiness, the wasteland of illusion falls away and we experience heaven on earth. And I love that because we all have so many challenges going on at home with so many aspects of our life. And it's very easy to get overwhelmed with those and just feel very heavy and very burdened. But if we step back and we truly are that, super positive person, which is hard, but we really, really focus on the things that are good and that we are blessed with, I think we will find an abundance of those things. Because all of us here, I know just from knowing you guys, have families, have great friends, have great relationships with people. Our health has all come a tremendous way of progress over the last year. We have a phenomenal community here with Plexus, and a community that is focused on uplifting. I will tell you that none of my friends outside Shauna sent me information today or a book that she recommended on how to maybe make my life a little brighter, because that's part of like what we do as a community. And I think that's amazing. My friend from high school didn't say, hey, I read this phenomenal book about self-improvement. You should read it. And I would love if she did. But it's part of one of the amazing things about our community is that we all seek for ways to be like, hey, I can help you a little bit here. Hey, I just read this and I think it would help you. Hey, let me help you. And so all of us are like in this path where we're all being uplifted together. And when somebody's going like this, we see that very clearly, and we all want to go like this, right? I think you know that with your close friends, with your family, but especially in this community. And I'm just so grateful for that, for an amazing community of people that literally reach down and pull me out of these holes, pull me out of the Brooke will be like, stop talking like that right now. Like she will shut it. She will shut it if the words start spilling out about how, what am I doing? Or this is so hard, or this is so overwhelming, or who am I to? And she like won't even let that sentence finish. And I love that because it's that self-talk only that brings us down. And it is all the positive self-talk that can bring us up in the focus. So my husband and I talked the other day about kind of making a list about all the things that we are grateful for that is abundant in our lives, and then maybe some of the struggles. And just as far as perspective goes, to see how much we do have with his work that drives me crazy because it's so hard and there's so much sacrifice, but all the blessings that do come from being in the military, because it's very easy for me to just focus on like this, right? And like completely hone in and not let anything else be observed. And he's like, if we just write it down, then you can see that there's this along with it, that there is so much good, there is so much positive, and let's try to focus on that, because it'll benefit you in the long run. It'll benefit all of us, our family, my perspective and my attitude towards everything else that I'm doing right now. So that's something I wanted to share for you. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And before we get to Ricci, I would just encourage you guys to take a look at your lives and focus on which secret garden that you are tending. So it's secret garden because this is your personal stuff, right? The stuff that maybe not everybody knows about. But think about, of your personal stuff, are you feeding and like sitting in that garden of struggle? Or could you possibly step out in that tiny garden of hope and just really start to fertilize and grow that and watch your outlook change? And even if you're kind of a hybrid, just try to step over to that one a little bit more consciously and see what happens, because we are so blessed in this world. I went to a thing called the Compassion Experience tonight with my kids, and it took you through 2 different rooms. One was to a little girl who's now probably in her 20s from the Philippines, and the other was a little boy in another country, an African country. And it took you through their entire lives. And it took them through how they were as a kid and what their room looked like. And we were able to touch everything and look at everything. And I said, wow, this room's so small. Mom, their floor is leaking. And I said, I know. And it just kind of helped me step back and realize how amazingly blessed we are to live in America and how much we have. And then with Plexus, how amazing what we have is, and how we should not be shy or embarrassed to share it with people, and to be confident and to be excited and to share it with people out of a place of love. And as long as we stick with that, there's absolutely nothing that can take us down, because we are sharing something that we care about from a place of love. And as we reach out to people with love, that's what we're here for, right? We're here to encourage and to develop relationships with everybody and to help people on their journey. So I will now turn the time over to Ricci. I would love for you to hear her story. She has autoimmune also, like me, but kind of fought a different battle. And she can tell you how she came to that battle, where she's at now, and then kind of how she started sharing.
All right. So my name's Ricci. I know Shauna, but I don't know Elaine or Melanie. So hi, it's nice to meet you guys. So yeah, my journey's been a long one. 8 years ago, right now, is when I started to have my health issues. I was dealing with rheumatoid arthritis symptoms. I went from being like a marathon runner to like trainer, all of that, in the best shape of my life, to being overnight and able to walk. So a lot of doctors and tests, and nothing really triggered in the beginning, because it was kind of the beginning stages. And every time you go in, things got a little worse and a little worse. But I kind of made a decision then well, first of all, I was in denial for probably like 6 months as to what was even happening. I just thought I would just go away. I just hoped it would go away. I would just give it more time. It would just go away. I went on a big journey of just kind of a checklist of things. Like I had like root canals removed from my mouth, metals removed. I had my breast implants removed. I did this checklist. I went to all these alternative doctors and spent all these tens of thousands of dollars. And, over this I've been on Plexus like 18 months, 20 months. And so the 6 years-ish, I was on this journey, and I had pretty much tried everything but stem cells. And about 20 months ago, I was still bedridden. So both my knees were swollen. I couldn't walk, my shoulders, my ankles, my hands. My husband, he had to help me get dressed, undressed. My mom had to come get my kids. My mother-in-law helped me. It was a really bad time. I was really mentally and emotionally was even harder than physically, believe it or not, because I had tried all of this stuff for so long. And, I got my diet down to just fruits and vegetables only. And I thought I was doing everything right. And I'm actually like 3 years plant-based. Just the past few months, I've dabbled with adding meat here and there, but I'm just afraid of it after the inflammation thing. So I wasn't one of those people that ate crummy. I didn't have a soda problem or a candy problem. I was living on green juice and basically vegetables and fruits, and I was still bedridden with this inflammation. So had I not been in that really horrible place, I don't think I would have tried Plexus, because I was so holistic that it almost was ridiculous. I mean, I say that now because I'm looking through totally different lenses. At the time, it was life or death in my mind, like what I put. It still is what I put in my body, but I was so closed-minded to anything that didn't come from a naturopathic doctor, or, and I was ordering these high, priced, high-powered supplements online through these doctors. And so it was really hard for me to believe that an MLM product would help me. And I have to be honest, the only reason I tried it is because I had no other plans at that time, and didn't know what to do. I had an appointment to go to Mexico 6 months from that time to get stem cell therapy. But I had this 6-month period where I didn't know what to do with myself. And so Christy Jex is actually my upline, and a friend of mine named Kim Falsetti. You guys probably haven't heard of her. It kind of goes Kim and then Christy. And so Christy kind of reached down because Kim isn't as outgoing, and so they both kind of coached me. I finally said, whatever, give me what I need. Literally like that, like a brat, like a really hard to deal with red personality brat. I said, give me what I need. I'll take it. I'll prove to you that this shiz isn't going to help me, but I'll take it anyway. So they gave me a lot of ease and the triplex and the X Factor, and I just got started. I'm really kind of a private person, so they checked in on me and stuff, but I really didn't respond back all that much. I just kind of was like, yeah, it's going fine, and mind your business. You guys, I was the biggest pain in the butt there ever was. So I'm telling you all of this because I want to tell you the pains in the butt are the best people that you will have on your team, because if it helps them, they are going to be just as big of a, like pain in the butt getting people on the products. So don't be discouraged if you kind of have this person that's difficult or won't jump on right away, because that was me. Now also was Christy Jex. She actually ordered as a customer and then wasn't going to do it and then did. And honestly, look at her now. So don't be discouraged if people are kind of like that with you, because honestly, the stubborn ones are the best ones. I've been waiting to find someone like me now, even though I know what a pain in the butt it's going to be to take care of them. But anyway, long story short, 2 months into taking the products, my inflammation started to get pretty much, it wasn't there anymore. And then I would say a few times over the past 20 months, probably about 8 months, I haven't had any inflammation at all, but very little. And it was usually because I feel like I'm well. And so like I would have a drink of alcohol or something or eat something I wasn't supposed to eat. Then I could feel a little bit of inflammation in the joint here or there, but it was usually self-inflicted, because once you start feeling good, you're like, oh, I'm better. You have to keep yourself that way. So anyway, after those 2 months went by, I decided, oh my gosh, people have to know about this. And I didn't know about the business. I didn't know what sharing was. I didn't know how I was supposed to do it. I just shared from the bottom of my heart in a post that was completely non-compliant because I didn't know anything about what I was doing. Christy didn't know I was sharing. Nobody knew, because I didn't know I was doing the business. Does that make sense? So when she was saying just a minute ago about, kind of leading with gratitude in your heart and keeping your perspective on, for me, I have to keep my perspective on other people's health, because there's a lot of this in this business, right? And like Julia said, we have a great upline that will reach down and kind of be like, oh, stop, like whenever you get that head trash going. But Christy kind of, after that happened, kind of went, oh goodness, here she goes. And she kind of knew. And I have to say, I just did it. I just did it, you guys. I went into the biz. I just started moving. I shared, I got a reaction. I contacted everybody I could think of that I'd ever ran into in these clinics that were ill and that hadn't gotten better. I really just did a lot of my business building behind the scenes. The posting was good for a while, and I still post to let people know that I'm still taking them. But most of the business stuff I've done over the past year, and some I've done in messaging and reaching out to people, because for me, I feel like there's just such a chance that they're not going to see that post, you know? And so I literally wrote down, I mean, only 7% of all of our friends, I have like 1,500 friends on Facebook, only 7% of those are going to see my post. But if I message them one-on-one, that's like, I know that when they've seen it and they haven't seen it. And if they don't respond, fine. I've at least reached out and given them the opportunity. And the road of, like she was just saying, not to be ashamed of what we have something special. That's an up and down for me. I'm just going to be totally honest with you guys, because I'm an integrative health coach now, and I don't want people to think I'm just trying to help them with their health to get them on Plexus. So I don't want to, but that's what helped me. So I totally go from being like, I don't care who knows, I'm just going to tell them like it is, to like, well, maybe I'll just gingerly tell them about it in a roundabout way-ish. But I've found when I'm the most confident and direct is when people respond the best to everything. So just keep that in mind. And I feel like when I am the most bold is when I reap the most rewards, as far as just, and if I focus on helping others. Because there was a time where my business was wild. I had crazy momentum and I had it fast. And it got so crazy and it was amazing. And I love that. People are like, oh, I'm kind of scared to grow. I wasn't scared to grow. I was like, run me over. I'll figure it out. I don't care. Like, gimme. And then there was this like drop off to where like nothing was happening. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I'm just like, you know, and I was focusing on the business at that time. And then I had to finally be like, stop, reset. This isn't about the business. This is about the people I'm helping. So I just went back to like really like checking in to people and waiting for that magical moment when they were like, I feel better. I feel amazing. This is better. This is that. Then I nudged them to start sharing. I love to mention sharing right from the beginning. And I wish everybody would, but I didn't. And a lot of people won't. So you're kind of just building a relationship with them. You're building their trust because you really do care and they can tell you care. And so if we focus on caring, then the people do come out, and a lot of people won't grow to an emerald, but they can go to 20, they can go to gold and have a solid team and stay on their products. That's kind of what I tell people, because I feel like when you catch the vision of the business, like I did, you go. Like really, you're like, okay, you ask a question here or there, but you're like, okay, I'm doing this. Like I'm going. And you have all these tools, because there's all this stuff going on all the time. So we have these awesome leaders. We have all these tools, and you just take them and you plug people in and you're like going. That's when you want to run a business. Most people just want like their products paid for. They want to help their immediate friends and family. And those are the people that will get you to Emerald. Because when you have a lot of those people, that's when you build a really solid team. At first I was waiting. I wanted someone like me. I wanted a rock star. And I'm not saying I wouldn't love one, but I've learned working with hundreds and hundreds of people now that that's not what most people want. So if we can just support them and get them healthy and feeling good, that just oozes out and they help others. And then that's how you grow consistently. And I think silver is powerful because they do stay on the products, even though it really doesn't pay for their products. So strange, but they do get a discount because they're getting, whatever it is, $45 a month off or whatever. But anyway, so that's kind of how I got into the business. That's kind of what happened. I feel like I know you guys always hear this, that accidentally did the business. That was me. I didn't know anything about network marketing. I'd never been I bought products through network marketing companies like lipstick and oils and all that, but I never had any interest. The only reason I have interest in this at all is because it works. And and that's it. If if it didn't help people, I would never open my mouth about this, ever. I mean, I don't sell shampoo. I was a hairstylist for years, and I didn't even feel good about selling hair products. I was like, hairspray's good. You don't need it. Like, I am not a salesman, you guys. So if I can do this, anybody can. I'm like, no, don't waste your money on that. But people need to waste their money on this. So I feel like completely 100% good about sharing these products. And every time I get weird about it, I have to remind myself that I was bedridden. I should never be weird about sharing this. Doesn't matter how many no's, how many people ignore me, how many people don't stay consistent, frustrates me because I want them to get better as much as more than they want to get better, obviously, because I get invested in them. But that's not always, everybody, I always say you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. But it's my job to put as much of that out there as I can and help as many people as I can. And if that ends up being a diamond, great. If it ends up that I stay exactly where I'm at, I really want to just help people. And if I keep that focus, I stay entertained. But if I start overwhelming myself with the business, it's like focusing on the staircase before the stair for me. And I have to literally focus on a stair at a time because I'm such a manic personality. Like, I want it now. And if I start focusing on stuff like that, it just overwhelms me and then I just check out. So I would just, baby stepping is, if you can grab momentum, run with it. But in those times you're not, baby step it and just keep putting one foot together. Accountability partners are good, but I also feel like having someone you can be brutally honest with is good. Because I can talk to my upline, Kim Falsetti, like for real. Not like I talk to my upline, Christy Jex. I don't know if that makes sense, but Christy's the one that's pushing me like, And Kim, I can be totally honest with. I can be like, this sucks, or I'm not feeling it right now, or whatever. And she's like, cool, do what you want. I'm like, you're so cool. Thank you for telling me that. And then I just do good anyway. Like, I just have to get it out. And sometimes our leaders aren't the best, so a sideline's good. Like, Shauna and I have talked a lot. Like, it's good to find somebody that maybe doesn't get anything out of, like, doesn't get any goodie off of, you know what I mean? Like, they're just like neutral. Like, so I would say I've made a lot of friendships with just sideline people that I love and enjoy, and we do the business together, but we're not benefiting from each other. So it's really cool. So you can vent, I guess, in a positive, grateful way. Right? Sorry, I don't want to bring down the vibration. But anyway, that's my story. So I'm just here. I'll always be here. I tell people I'll take the products forever. Where my business goes, I hope huge, right? But there's ebb and flow, and I'm just not going to stress about it. So I'm just focusing outward. Is that good?
Do you guys have any questions? You all had some good laughs. Do you have any questions? Would you mind sharing what you take?
Yes, I take Loading Dose of Ease.
Still.
Three morning. Yeah, oh yeah. Haven't ever backed that off. I've even gone up to 8 sometimes. So I take 3 morning, 3 night. I started on the original X Factor, and I took that for a couple of months, and then I started the X Factor Plus. I don't know. People say it's more gentle than, the X Factor Plus, but I don't know. That's just what they did with me. I usually just put people on the X Factor Plus because it helps with hormones. That's something that has completely improved. I'll just tell you guys the symptoms that I don't have anymore. So my joints, obviously, like I can bend my joints, I can walk, I can do the things I want to do. I don't have that pain anymore. I also, to my demise, was able to put weight on. I was always kind of on the too thin side, and I amply made up for that in the past year. And I think it's because my gut is finally absorbing my nutrients, so I can't get away with as much as I did before. But so that's changed. Then my periods. So I've had a lot of people that have had babies on Plexus. So I just want to give you guys this confidence. Like, the hormone thing is huge, and between the blood sugar balance and the X Factor Plus, oh my gosh, Plexus babies all over the place. Or even like my daughter has horrid periods where she vomits and passes out. She doesn't do that anymore. She has to lay down with a heating pad, but she doesn't it doesn't go that far. But mine, I used to bleed to death, clots, horrible, couldn't leave the house for 2 days because I had to have 2 tampons and a pad and I was still bleeding out. Nothing like that, nothing. Normal periods, one heavier day, like that totally cleared up. I don't have night sweats anymore. I don't have, I used to get UTIs all the time. I don't get those anymore. What else? I used to get these like little cyst things in my eye. I don't get those anymore. I mean, I should have written down, because there was a lot of stuff going on with me that I was just like just, that there were the bigger stuff were more important, right? So all of that stuff's kind of cleared up. So yeah, I just do the triplex, X Factor Plus, and the E's. That's it. And I take still all the heavy doses. I take 4 Probio 5s at night, and sometimes I go up to 6. And I speckle Vital Biome in there here and there when I remember, but it's not something I'm consistently on.
Why do you go up to 6?
Well, like I was on antibiotic this summer, so I went up to 6, plus I added in a ton of other probiotics from everywhere. Any probiotic I could find, basically, I was shoving in my mouth. But
Because
so just for the candida, huh?
Because of the antibiotic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And if I'm sick or whatever, I'll up them. Yeah. And I just kind of funny. I have overkill on everything though, so it's not necessarily good advice. I'm kind of excessive. I'm just like, 1's good, 2's better, 3's amazing, 4's got to be awesome. So I just say whatever works. I started
5s, and how many BioCleanse are you taking?
You know what? I don't even take BioCleanse anymore. When I was just taking 2 in the morning. I eat fruits and vegetables, so I am just like regular gets. And I know I need the magnesium and everything, but I think it's something that just I kind of just forgot about it. But when I did take it, I only took 2. I didn't need 4. Yeah. That was way too much for me. Yeah.
Well, and you make a really good point that, you are 100% plant-based, and
yeah, I get a ton of fiber. It's kind of funny when people started the vegetarian lean, they were like, oh my gosh, I'm so gassy. There's so much fiber. I'm like, what? It didn't affect me at all because that's all I eat, is fiber. So, yeah. I will tell you guys, the hunger control, I can't do that. So if you have anyone with autoimmune issues that's on hunger control and not improving or just not doing well, and they haven't tried the microbiome one, switch them. Because I have had
same with if you have XOS and it's not working, switch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've had some people that are really with autoimmune issues that do better on the hunger control, and then I can't do it. I started to flare up within a week. I was like, nope, not going backwards, only going forwards. Threw it to the side. I'm bummed because I think it's a really awesome product. I think it's because the polydextrose is derived from corn, and corn flares me up. It's an inflammatory grain. Some people can't do corn. Some people can't. So just kind of be conscious of that, especially with someone with a sensitive autoimmune body, that just switch them over. So.
I do have a question, because a lot of what you said hit home with a friend that I've reached out to like twice. And her comments are always, oh, I'm good because I'm plant-based and I don't need to do any of this. But she has so much pain and inflammation and so much going on that I know Plexus could help. So how long do you keep waiting to ask? I know that you finally said, okay, whatever, just let me try it to prove you wrong. But it's hard for me, especially when it's a friend, of when to reach out and then give it time and then reach out again. And so I just was curious on your take on that.
You know what you should do? Put her in a 3-way message with me. Okay. I'll take over. Just say, I met this girl at one of my meetings.
She sounds just like you.
She's plant-based, holistic chick. She was plant-based 3 years. Well, I was 2 years at the time. And no, year and a half. Gosh, you guys, time flies. So a year and a half, I was totally plant-based, just fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, totally grain-free even. Grain-free, just fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. I was so inflamed. My gut was not healed. And that's what I kept thinking, you guys. I have taken gut healing courses. I have paid hundreds of dollars to take gut healing courses online, like through these awesome holistic people on these live webinars and everything. And I had been to this naturopathic doctor and got these IVs, and I was on glutamine, and I was on all of this gut healing supplements from him. I thought my gut was fine, because I pooped. I didn't have bloating. Like, I thought I was fine. I ate fruits and vegetables, for crying out loud. And there I was, completely full of inflammation. I couldn't even walk. Can you imagine my frustration? I was pissed off at everything, because I was like, I am doing all of this right. What is going on? So I would say to her, I met someone like you, just reminded me of you, and she was this, and she still had inflammation. I just want you to hear her story or whatever.
I'd love for you to hear her story. And then
and just say, I just thought of you. Yeah, exactly. I think if you go at it I am thinking of you because I care about you. I don't care. You know what I tell people now? This is horrible. Julia, you could tell them to check this off. This is bad. But I will say, I don't care about the $15 I'm going to make off you. I care about your health. When they hear that I make $15, they're like, they don't even care. It's so funny. Something shifts. And one person will be, I was talking to a guy the other night. I'm like, I want you on this. You'll need 3 bottles a month. I want you on 2 bottles of probiotic. I had this whole thing, and he was looking at me, and I go, don't worry. I make nothing over $100. It was fine. He ordered whatever I told him to order. It's just weird, that little mindset in people. They don't want you to make money off of them, especially friends and family. It is the weirdest thing. We should be lifting each other up and supporting each other and blah, blah, blah. But that's really, some people just have this in their head. So I think if you were just kind of bluntly approach her, I am doing this because I care about you. I could care less about $15. I met this girl that just reminded me of you. She was really, full of inflammation. I'd like you just hear her story. Can I send it to you? Can I put you in a message with her? Whatever. And then if she will get in a message with me, then you could just sit back and be like, yeah.
Because she had the UTI. She has
from you.
Well, and another thing you could say is, so you're doing all this work. Do you feel like you're where you want to be? Doing all this work, being all this plant-based, are you at a health point where you're super happy with where you're at?
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is working for you? And if she's like, well, I think it's helping, but then just say, why not even try? Why don't we just try this and see?
And I don't know if she's like I was, but I was obsessed with detoxing. I was detoxing everything. I was detoxing metals one day, and I was detoxing parasites one day. I detoxed parasites for 15 months, you guys. I got rid of some disgusting stuff. But I have to tell you, when you get in this crazy vegan world, they want you to live off watermelon all the time. It gets nuts. And and I just have to tell you that not once did I ever think I may be depleting my good stuff. And I think that's where they miss it, is they're detoxing. Well, these herbals and these things that they're taking are depleting their healthy bacteria, as well as they're not good stuff. So even though I was probably pretty clean, I had depleted everything good out of my body, and I needed to shift into build mode, rebuild Ricci, rebuild the immune system, rebuild my gut. And once I shifted into that, that's when my symptoms went. So although I don't know how much all that clean out attributed to me getting better faster, or if I could have just skipped all of that and did this, I don't know, because that was my journey. But if that's something she's really focused on, just be like, that's awesome that you're doing this, but you need to focus on building your body back. Focus on your immune system. I have a really frustrating time with people with Lyme disease, because that's what I was diagnosed with, was Lyme disease and rheumatoid arthritis. Because when you get diagnosed with Lyme, you immediately think bacteria, I got to kill it, it's a bacteria. And people forget, and they're on antibiotic after antibiotic, they forget totally about that your immune system is all in your gut. And when you're depleting your gut, your immune system gets weaker, and then those bugs take over even more. And so basically just saying, people will be like, so what is it? I had a girl that had Lyme. She has Lyme so bad. She's bedridden most of the time. And I just gently reached out to her and said, I'd like to share my story with you and what I've done, and something may ring a bell that you haven't tried maybe along your journey. That way I wasn't saying necessarily like do only plexus, but maybe there's something you're missing. Because, and I did say that, I feel like we get caught up in the kill and we do not give our body rebuild material. And that's what plexus is. It's rebuild material. And, you know, and it can accommodate the detoxing even better because you're going to be replenishing, you know. So I would just go at her in her mind, get in her mind as a holistic vegan eating person and think about what she needs to hear, that she will get it, you know, because it gets wild. I'm telling you, in that other world, it gets wild. You kind of lose yourself. It's almost like religion. And I was afraid to admit I was on these products. I hid them. I hid them in my house. Only my husband knew. No one knew I was on them. I didn't let anybody see my pink drink. Like, I was completely paranoid that the holistic world would think less of me because I was on this multi-level marketing product that looks like food coloring, that looks like a weight loss thing. So they don't even take it serious. They don't even realize the power of it because of it's marketed for weight loss and it's multi-level. You know what I mean? So you got to be patient with me and these kind of people because they just don't even understand what we have. So I think once that door opens, then you can show them what it is.
You've got like 30 seconds left, so I don't want to cut you off, but it's going to close down. But thank you. You guys can email Ricci directly and ask her any questions or message her.
Messenger.
We love
I don't check my email.
Thank you.
Bye, you guys.
Love you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you.